Mhm. Yeah, so it goes back to what we were saying earlier, I think, about just having that guidance around you, that environment, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of, yeah. And it's funny, as you said that, I was thinking, for myself, as somebody who started out just trying to build my business by myself the first 3 years, it wasn't until late last year where I started, opening up to other friends.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd always had a coach to kind of just talk things through, but that's the real difference maker, I think, is a lot of people have these great ideas. I know a lot of people listening to the show have messaged me about starting a YouTube page or starting a
Mm-hmm.
podcast or starting a business, and I'm, just trying to be the ultimate encourager, like just do it, just start. What would your advice be though? Because I know a lot of people are hesitant right now. The way I see things is like it's 2021. We all have a cell phone. We all have the opportunity to put out our message, to promote ourselves, our products, our services. But I feel like there's a lot of people who are hesitant, partly because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to take a risk because what if we go back on lockdown? What's like your
Yeah.
general advice, Steve, for anybody who's kind of in that mindset?
It depends on what position people are in. So before I set up on my own, I had 2 years worth of savings. If I didn't earn a single penny, I could live for 2 years without worry. That gave me a runway to actually help grow the business.
Okay.
But that's because I planned it. So I built up a cash stock over time that when I wanted to execute all of this, and bear in mind, it's not cheap for all the lights and cameras and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I know the level I'm aiming for, that I had that ability that not everyone has. But one of the things I do say is that it's to ask people actually, why do you want to do it? I know some people that want to start an initiative to have community impact, but that can be different to a financial business. So there's one guy on the course that has a mental health awareness campaign that he wants to make sure people know it's okay to talk and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the way that they do that is through merchandise and actually helping to talk about stuff. And I've actually ordered a t-shirt. It's got this cool logo on it. But the point is, yes, a percentage of the profits goes back to charities to help more people, but you can run that as a sideline alongside your full-time job should you wish, which means that you're not risking the house and your mortgage, and that guy's got 2 kids and a family and stuff. The mental pressure of, if he was all in on this merchandise t-shirt business, might not end well. It might be brilliant, but it might not end well. But you can test the water and launch it and see how sales go before you jump off the cliff
Mm-hmm.
to do it. And it's that preparation. But then likewise, if you have 100% confidence in what you're doing and you know it's going to work, as long as you know the tools and things to execute, it doesn't matter what I think or you think. If you have complete faith that what you're doing is the right thing to do it, because that's the conviction that entrepreneurs need to kind of really be successful. So I know that's a really bad answer, but it makes sense to hedge your bets. But actually, what you can do is start slowly and then reinvest, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I bootstrap all of this. So my management consultancy business does really well. So all of the profit goes back into upgrading my brand for the textbooks and posting thousands of copies around the world for free and all
Mm-hmm.
of that kind of thing. Because I know where I want to be in 5 to 10 years' time. That actually the way to execute against that is to have a very high quality professional kind of setup.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, when you're looking at to stand out in the marketplace, in the UK at least, a lot of people that do what I do, they would have their webcam and they would sit at their office at home and do online courses and webinars, which is fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if people are going to pay for it, they want to pay for an experience. They want to know that the visuals are good. You can tell a lot of time and effort and money has gone into investing in it, which just builds the credibility. And part of the reason why that's important for me is that at 38, I'm still 20 years younger than a lot of people that I compete against.
Mm.
So I almost want to put the proof in the pudding to say, I send these out for free to business owners to basically prove how good I am, the credibility is there,
Yeah.
so that when they're looking at decisions about how do they invest in their team to help grow their business, it's not a blind faith purchase. Actually, they can see that there's good stuff there that then is even more successful. Does that make sense? And the one thing that
Yeah.
I've really kind of enjoyed actually is just on social media, it's when people are getting value from the course or just whatever it is, and they talk about it themselves, and I've had their friends get in touch, especially there's some guys in the Ukraine, and they're like, oh, our friends just signed up to this course, it looks great, we'd love to be on. I say, yeah, no problem. And we've got the same in Nigeria, same in Ghana. But it's, you're on the right track when people are talking about it without you having to push it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then I think still for me that it'll be another 2 years before it'll have enough momentum and it'll properly, like inertia, just keep going. But actually, I'm really enjoying it. This is a 10-year goal for me that actually, in 10 years' time, hopefully I'll be the next kind of Seth Godin or Simon Sinek or whatever. But that's where I'm aiming for. And then all my profit, everything goes back into it because I want to help as many people as I can. And it's just, I believe in what I'm doing. I believe that why is it better than existing traditional business education? Mm-hmm. And then one of the criticisms that you often get is that, yes, if you can afford to go to Harvard and do one of their executive MBAs for $200,000 in 2 years, mm-hmm. go for it. That is brilliant. Go and do it. But 99.9% of the world's population can't do that. And if you're a single mother that has a child, you work in McDonald's, but actually you're looking for a secondary income just to help pay the kids' college tuition, you can't access traditional business education. It's too expensive. It's too complicated. Where do you start? And actually, there's also a big elitism thing where actually, unless you look the right color or background or CV, they don't even let you in. Mm-hmm. I try and, navigate around all of that I'm sure for any military veterans or anyone kind of watching this, get in touch. I will happily send you a free course, especially if you've got ambitions to really do something and, give back in the world. That often governments or people or whatever don't look after their citizens or their community as well as they could. So I'll do it. You know what I mean? And it's that kind of thing that, yes, I'm doing it off my own back, but I believe in it. I'm passionate about it, but I believe that this is better than what anyone else has done. Mm-hmm. And that's the conviction I think you need to really just jump off the cliff and build the plane on the way down, I think is the analogy.